Good afternoon. Right, today I'm talking wrestling. I'm specifically talking about a tour we did of Africa in the early 80s. And it was a 10-hour flight to Africa. And I'll just read you the amount of people that was on it. Mick McMichael actually ran this tour. He knew the guy that was a millionaire over there that paid for this tour, and it was a tour from Chingola in Zambia to Lusaka in Zaire. And it was a 10-hour flight to get there, and I remember getting there and everybody was absolutely knackered. I actually fell asleep in the chair when they was all playing snooker, but I woke up feeling great. And they all felt absolutely shit, you know, but that was the way it was. So anyway, the actual team that was in this tour, there was Mick McMichael, obviously. There was Jackie Turpin, Jeff Kay, who was the referee, Pat Patton, Marty Jones, Brian Maxine, and yeah. Is it actually? I can't. There was two others, but for the life of me, I can't think who that was. It was that long ago. Anyway, we split up. We actually went to the hotel first. We had to stop at this hotel, and I always remember it was winter there in Africa, and we were sitting in the chairs outside in the sunshine, sunbathing, and they were looking at us as though we'd gone out, like, you know, which is understandable for them. But I always remember that the black prostitutes walking around the hotel area, and they'd got high heel shoes on. For some reason, the high heel shoes they had on was too big, and it was looked quite silly actually. But I'm going back a long way. And Dr. Kaundu, who was the guy that ran Zambia at the time, I believe he was a dictator. But anyway, me and Patton were sitting by this pool. The pool was empty because it was winter, and these two guys came to clean the pool, and they got a step ladder, and me and Patton were sitting there watching them. Got a step ladder which they put down, which was no good because it was too short. So they wandered off, and they came back half an hour later with a ladder, and they put this ladder down to the bottom of the pool, and then they picked up a gallon plastic bottle of cleaner, and the one guy went down the step ladder one step at a time with this gallon of. So we were sitting there watching him, and he got to the bottom, and then the other guy handed him like a sweeping brush with like a mop end on it, but like a long one. Handed it down to him, and then this guy then proceeded to go to the end of the wall of the pool with this gallon of cleaner, and he'd take the top off, and he walked up to it, and he was going, and he'd run down, and then he walked a bit further down. This must have took him 15 minutes to go down the one side of the pool. And he picks up this mop thing, and he's got this mop thing like this, and he's going. And I looked at Patton, bless his soul, and Patton looked at me as if to say, what? It was so exasperating. It was like, I want you to take it off him and do it myself, because he must have been there. They must have been there 5 or 6 hours with this, and they just achieved nothing, absolutely zero. So that was my welcome to Africa, and I wasn't impressed actually at all. But anyway, so off we proceeded then to the guy that was running and paying for this show, like, and it was a really magnificent bungalow, but it had got a large garden, but it had got a electrified fence all the way around. Just gave you some idea. It was a bit dodgy, to say the least. Anyway, he was a nice guy. He spoke to us, and he was explaining everything, and he said they had the largest copper mine in the world in Zambia, and we actually went to see this copper mine. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyway, he says, you know, he says, we've got 3 metres of topsoil. 3 metres of topsoil. You can open the back door and literally pick an handful of seeds and throw it, and it just grows. Again, that was another downer because there was nothing there. Because there was jungle, bit of jungle, and then there was like a village. We walked through a village the one day. We were walking through this village, and the males were all sitting in the street, smoking pot. Just sitting there in rags, smoking, and somebody even masturbating as they were sat there. I am not lying. You can ask any of these guys that was there. And I thought, Jesus. Now, the thing is, Zambia is that big. You could put the UK into Zambia 35 times. That's how big the country was. And I'm going back to like about 81 or 82, and it was just wasted. There was nothing there. They'd done nothing with it. So anyway, from that bungalow, we had a small minibus-like thing, small minibus. We all got on, and they drove us to the first venue, and it was a midday thing, and it was out in a field, and fair few people came. Fair few. That was all obviously Black Africans who came to see it, and so me and Patton was on first. We knew our match inside out, so we went out to do our match, and Patton went out first with his usual judo suit on. I followed, and as I got to get in the ring, Patton's there and he's going jumping round, and I'm thinking, Jesus, he's keen, you know, because it was really hot. Anyway, so I got in the ring lock, and he's still jumping around. And then the bell went, and he run at me, and he says, throw me. So I threw him, and I followed him down with the wrist lock, and I says, what's up? He says, my feet, this bastard, that ought to come, my feet are burning. I tell you what, it was so funny, but it never clicked in my head that his feet was bothering him. But anyway, we had a reasonably good match, and then I think after that, we worked some new sequences out, and we was driving this place, and we was with this guy. He was taking us to a different place. The others had gone on. I don't know what happened, but anyway, we were separated from the main crew. So anyway, we told him, can you stop? Like, we wanted to work a few moves out that we was going to add in new. So we found this bit of a clearing out the jungle and all these bushes around. So we've been flying around doing that stuff, blang, ending up in these bushes and back into this grass and rolling around, and then. We stopped, and I got up and I said to Patton, I says, do you think there's any snakes in all this lot? Oh, hang on. Hey Google, are there any snakes in Africa?
On the website tripsavvy.com, they say, although the black mamba is not the most venomous African snake species, it is nevertheless the most feared.
Oh shit! Black mamba, I never knew that. Some just, oh shit. That could have been a bit dodgy, would you agree? But anyway, we didn't get bit by a black mamba, and right, we got back in the car. This African guy that was driving us never said a word. He never said, watch out for the, well, you know, he could speak English. But anyway, we carried on. So we got back to the bungalow at this time, and I was sharing a room with Brian Maxine, who was there. So we've had something to eat, we've been out, we've come back, and we've gone up to our room, me and Brian. And we got into the room, Brian went in before me, and he stopped, put the lights on, and I was behind him, I sort of bumped into him. And he says, I don't know about you, he says, but I ain't going to sleep with that up there, look. And he looked up in the corner, and there was a spider, the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. Hang on. Hey Google, are there any poisonous spiders in Africa?
I found 7 on the website answersafrica.com. Here are the first 3. Baboon spider, tarantulas of Africa, scorpion-tailed spider, anoga-faced spider, Deinobidai. Do you want to hear more?
No thanks, that's plenty for me, plenty. So here again.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you very much, that's very unusual. You're welcome. Anyway, so he looks at me, he says, you get a chair, you knock it down and I'll kill it. It was like that. I can't remember the film. There was a film like this, wasn't there? So I got up, I got a bit of cardboard or something, or an end of a paper, I flicked it off onto the floor. He went onto the floor and he went bang, 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 bang. And he stopped and then went bang, bang. So yeah, that was another one. I never knew all about that. She's helped me a lot here, hasn't she? She's helped me a lot. Well, anyway, so I carry on. So after that, we went to this next venue to wrestle. How long was we there for? I think we was there for about 3 weeks, I think, actually, on this tour. So anyway, I went to this next venue, and we was waiting to wrestle, and they said, can't start yet because they're still coming in. Still coming in. Anyway, when we eventually went out, these people, I don't know which area we were in now, whether it was in Zaire or Zambia, these African warriors, can you call them warriors, they've got spears. They must have been about 7 foot tall each, and they got these spears, and they all marched in. The place was full, and all you could see was these spears all the way around the ring. It was absolute. You wouldn't believe it. But anyway, so that was another match we did. So now me and Patton are doing another match. I was on with Mick McMichael, and I was still doing my usual thing at this one venue we went to again, because it was a big country to travel. So I'm doing the posing bit, you know, as I always did, blah, blah, blah. And instead of getting the usual reception that I get in this country, they was cheering. They loved it. So the more I posed, the more I cheered. So I was working villain, and Mick McMichael was the goodie. And then he says, stop the posing, because obviously it was screwing the match up. But the thing was, I'd done this now for years and years and years, and I couldn't stop. I'd do something and just automatically go into a pose, and it screwed the match actually. And he was really angry, Mick was, and he come to me, he says, you head villain, and to be honest with you, he never spoke to me after that, and I never really got on with Mick after that, but he didn't understand that I just wasn't deliberate, it was just automatically built into me now to do that. So anyway, off we've gone on another thing, so I'm on with Patton again. I think he put me back on Patton because it was any good match I was having really. But I went on with Patton and we worked out this sequence of moves, like I said, when we was playing with the spiders in the jungle, yeah. Anyway, so sequence of moves. I was blocking his kicks. Blocked his kicks. It got screwed up. His foot caught me on the jaw, dislocated my jaw. My jaw went, come straight out. Oh, hang on. That's got to be this side, so he caught me on the right. This come out, this jaw dislocated here, and it locked out. And I landed on the floor, and I got up and I hit it with my heel, knocked it back in. So anyway, that match finished, and then after that, every time I went to eat, for the rest of the tour, as I bit something, this jaw would lock open. I just lock it back in again. Now that's still bothered me right up till a couple of months ago, actually. And I don't know whether people saw the video where I'm taking that MK677. Gone. It's absolutely fine. I can't say enough about this MK677, which I got from EliteAthlete.com. My knee has got better. This is never going to be right. The knee's never going to be right. It's still got to be done. I mean, this stuff's doing the best it can, but it was the problem I've got. It's just bone on bone. But at least I can walk and I can do certain things. I can still do leg extensions straight, nice and slow. Leg curls the same, but I have to take it really light. I'm probably using £30 on the machine, but at least it's as you can probably see, the muscle's still there in that thigh. I don't know whether you can see that from there, but anyway. So, anyway, back onto the tour again. So we're off on the tour, and then one of the guys, these African gentlemen, bought us some weed. Now apparently the African, I don't smoke, I don't drink, but everybody was smoking this stuff. So I smoked it as well, right? So, I never had it before. And I tell you what, it slows time down. I was sitting in this chair with Patton, and this guy was coming with some drinks on a tray. And Patton says, slows time down. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, see him walking down there now. I said, yeah. Just close your eyes, and then imagine when he gets to us, as you're watching him walk. So I'm sat there, and I opened my eyes, and he was only like 2 yards from where he was originally. So anyway, we're going back home, back to wherever we were staying, and Patton sat on the front seat. I'm 4 seats back, and Patton sat on this front seat like this, with his arms folded. And we're going, the roads there were terrible. I mean, I ain't joking, there was right bumpy, bouncy roads all over the show. And Patton's sitting there like this, in this seat, and he's bouncing up and down, but he ain't going out. He's perfectly lined up with the movement of the bus. I couldn't stop laughing. Once you start laughing on that stuff, you can't stop. I could not stop laughing. And I think Mick McMichael made some silly remark. Oh, Mick McMichael started taking his coat off. Took his coat off as he was going along, putting it back on, taking it off, putting it on. I thought, what's he doing? And Patton says, it's all right, he thinks he's electric fire. Which is not funny, I do agree, but when you're under the state of smoking weed, it was the most hilarious thing we'd ever heard. The place was in uproar, everybody was laughing and choking and everything. So anyway, we got back to the bungalow, and this guy had, before we went in, I think Mick McMichael said, this is where I really screwed up with Mick McMichael actually. He said, best behaviour lads, we've got to not show anything of this. So we all went in, we sat down, I was concentrating, we sat down and we got rice and that, and I was looking at my meal and that, and then I just couldn't help it, I just looked up, I've got a mouthful of rice, looked up to look at the others, and everybody was that serious. And what did I do? Sprayed them. I sprayed the effing place with rice, and nobody found it funny, especially Mick McMichael. The bloke that owned the bungalow just got up and walked out. I thought, oh shit. So yeah, screwed it up, and it was a shame because I enjoyed the trip, but it was a bit dodgy. We had few dodgy times. Dr. Cohendu actually came to watch us in one of these shows, and these military lorries pulled up when we were waiting to wrestle, and they set up 4 heavy machine gun sites all the way around where we were. Watching them do this, we're thinking, shit, they're going to shoot us. That was just to protect him from, what was going on at the time. And, so, yeah, it was a shame. Such a love. Oh, I nearly missed. We went to the largest copper mine in Africa. And it was all run by whites, yeah? Now, the wheels on these trucks that went down to this copper mine were as big as this room. Each one had its own engine on the 4 wheels. Now you can imagine the size of the thing. It carried tons and tons and tons of copper. But we were at the top, and these things was like the size of 4 houses before it even started off, going down to pick a load up. And as it went down, you could stand at the top and watch. And at the bottom, these things was that big, like an inch square, all the way down to the bottom of this copper mine. As I say, unfortunately, it was all run by whites. I don't even know if it's still there now, but I mean, I'm going back a long time. But anyway, that's my insight into a tour we did of Africa, which, as far as Mick McMichael was concerned, it was a disaster. And that is, unfortunately, sorry to say, a lot of that was down to me. But that's life, isn't it? Anyway, I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.